Hi, I'm Maggie. My mother died when I was very young, and Dad had to raise me alone. He was not just my only family, but also my best friend.
Remember, champion, you're the center of my universe. I'll do whatever it takes to give you the world.
Dad worked hard, but we still barely made ends meet. Despite that, I felt like the happiest kid in the world. However, things got more complicated when I went to school. My classmates' moms helped them do their hair, but my dad didn't know how to do that. Unlike the other girls who looked pretty, I always looked like I'd got caught in a tornado. It made me the butt of Selena's jokes. She was the meanest girl in the school. Maggie, did a lawnmower cut your hair? Dad didn't want me to feel like an outcast, so he watched beauty bloggers' videos every day and practiced on me.
Well, do you like it? Yeah, you're right. This is a disaster.
No, Dad, it's great. That day, Selena came up to me in the schoolyard and handed me a bag. Put it on your head. I can't bear to look at your ugly hair. Soon after that, our school organized a charity beauty contest for mothers and daughters. My classmates in beautiful dresses were getting ready to go on stage with their mothers. But I didn't have a mom, so I just stood backstage and looked at the other girls with envy. Selena, the rotten cowpat, found it hilarious. Look, Maggie is so ugly, even her mom didn't want to take part in the competition with her. Her words made my blood boil. Tears stung my eyes and I screamed at her. I don't have a mom, but I didn't tell anyone about it because I don't want anyone's pity. Everyone gasped and looked at me with sympathy. Selena's mom scolded her daughter. How could you make fun of this poor girl? Aren't you ashamed of yourself? Apologize to her right now. Oh, whatever. I'm sorry, Maggie. Are you happy now? Selena couldn't have sounded less sincere if she tried, but I was glad I finally put her in her place. I decided to go to the hall, but then...
Hey, champion! You're not going to give up without a fight, are you? I'll be your partner.
I looked at him like he was a superhero. Dad might not have saved Earth from evil aliens, but he stopped at nothing to make me happy. He even learned to walk in heels. We stole the show and took one of the prizes. Meanwhile, Selena was disqualified during the first round. She climbed up and tried to pour green paint on everyone on stage during the award ceremony, but it was clearly not her day. I noticed her and asked the lighting technician to point the spotlight at her. The bright light blinded her and she spilled all the paint on herself. You got a taste of your own medicine, Selena, or should I call you Shrek? Everyone burst out laughing. Selena's humiliation was a triumph for me. After that day, no one at school feared her anymore. She basically turned invisible, while I became popular. By the time I turned 15, I grew interested in sculpting and realized I had found my calling. Unfortunately, at that time, Dad's health started to fail. One day, I came home after classes and wanted to show him a brochure for the art school I wanted to go to. But when Dad came home, he looked so gutted, I immediately realized something bad had happened.
I got fired because of my poor health.
Of course, I didn't say anything about the art school after that. It was very expensive, but I didn't want Dad to feel guilty for not having that kind of money.
We'll get through this. Of course we will, champion.
To my surprise, he soon told me he found a new job. What about your health?
Oh, I'm feeling much better. I'm going to work as a personal driver for a rich lady called Miss Bell.
I decided to do a little research and Googled her. Miss Bell turned out to be the richest woman in our town. She loved to dress up in historical costumes from different countries and eras. She's kind of weird. I hope Dad won't get in much trouble because of her. I secretly got a part-time job to earn money for the art school without bothering Dad, and was soon handing out flyers for a restaurant dressed as a giant taco. One day, a luxury limousine stopped next to me and the driver got out of it. It was my dad. He opened the passenger door, picked up Miss Bell, and carried her to the outdoor terrace of the restaurant. Then Miss Bell's children, a boy a little older than me and a little girl, joined them. I got mad at Miss Bell for making Dad carry her around. It was humiliating. Dad didn't recognize me because I was wearing the taco costume. As soon as he stepped away for a moment, I came closer and started to watch that rich family.
Hey, Taco, why are you staring at us? You're probably just a hungry homeless guy, huh? Fine, I'll let you finish our leftovers.
That brat was more annoying than a pimple on her forehead. I was about to snap back at him, but then his little sister ran out into the road to catch her ball. Watch out! Elizabeth, are you okay? Never better. Listen, you in the taco suit. Come here, please.
Move, my mom is calling you.
Thank you for saving my daughter. Elizabeth is so energetic, all her babysitters quit. But you seem like you're great with kids. would you like to work for me? I agreed without hesitation. Not because I needed the money, but to make sure that Diva wouldn't hurt Dad. Miss Bell told me to come to her house the next day. I grabbed the business card with her address and quickly left before Dad could come back and recognize me.
I'm watching you, Taco.
Watch your sister instead, you moron.
What?
Look, it's Deadpool and Wolverine!
Where?
The idiot fell for it. Dad seemed on edge all evening and kept giving me weird looks. It was like he wanted to tell me something important but couldn't pluck up the courage for it. The next day, I came to Miss Bell's mansion like I promised, but the security guards refused to let me in.
Miss Bell has an important family dinner tonight. I was told to not let anyone in.
They are waiting for me!
Hey, what's all this noise? Who are you?
I'm your sister's new babysitter.
Taco? Oh, I didn't know you were a girl.
His name turned out to be Andrew. He told the guards to let me in and led me to the mansion.
Okay, Taco. We'll see how long you last.
My name is Maggie.
It's my home and I'll call you whatever I want.
I didn't like him or his sly smile, but I didn't have the time to worry about him just then. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw waiters setting a table for a dinner in the garden. Miss Bell, dressed like a Chinese empress, was sitting at the head of the table, and Dad seemed to be at her beck and call again. I didn't want him to notice me, so I quickly picked up a ball and hid my face behind it.
Are you wanted or something?
Shut up and lead me to Elizabeth's room.
Everyone calls my sister a little devil.
Why?
You'll find out soon enough.
Ah! I can't deal with this little monster anymore!
Your first task is to get her ready for the family dinner. Good luck, Taco.
He quickly pushed me into the room. I thought I'd see something terrible, but all I saw was a disheveled Elizabeth jumping merrily on the bed. Who are you? I'm your new babysitter. Let's comb your hair and get you ready for dinner. No! I don't want to brush my hair and you can't make me! I realized I needed a special approach and said I knew a unique hairstyle no one else did. How does it look? Let me show you. When I was your age, my dad did my hair like this. Wow! I need to show my mom! Before I could do more than blink, Elizabeth was knocking the waiters off their feet as she ran to her mom. Hold on! Wait! Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Dad?
Maggie? What are you doing here? Oh no, you found out everything, didn't you? Let me explain.
Dad started to breathe fast, turned pale as snow, and fainted. I leaned over him and glared at Miss Bell. This is your fault! Why did you make him carry you around even though he's sick? She turned white as paper and then rolled out from behind the table. It turned out she was sitting in a wheelchair. Holy heck! Honey, what's wrong with you?
I just got a bit nervous, but I'm fine now.
Whoa, did she just call you honey?
Darling, is this your daughter?
You should finally tell her about us.
Champion, I'm marrying Miss Bell. This dinner party is a rehearsal before our wedding.
What? I'm going to change your life for the better. You'll see, everything's going to be all right. I don't think so. Dad, how could you betray me and forget about Mom? I ran away and hid by a fountain in the garden, but Dad found me and sat down next to me.
Maggie, please hear me out. I saw the brochure for the art school you want to go to and got a job to get you there. But Miss Bell and I fell for each other almost immediately. She's a good woman and never forced me to carry her around. It's just that we forgot her wheelchair at home that day.
Why didn't you tell me you were going to marry her?
I was afraid you would react the way you did. You're the center of my universe. Your approval is important to me, champ.
I looked into his eyes and remembered all the things my dad had done for me. You deserve to be happy. I'll promise I'll try to get along with Miss Bell. Shortly after the wedding, Dad and I moved into the Bells mansion. Even though I was no longer Elizabeth's babysitter and didn't have to look after her, I still enjoyed spending time with that capricious little girl. Out of habit, I kept calling my stepmother Miss Bell. I tried to see her in a good light, but kept reminding myself she wasn't my mom. Maggie, how was your day? Are you really interested, or are you just pretending to be a kind stepmother? Wait, don't answer that. I do not care. Andrew was still a pain in my butt. His arrogance knew no bounds. He constantly reminded me it was his house we were living in, and I was a nobody. One day, I heard him begging his mom to let him go to his friend's party. All right, on one condition though. You're taking Maggie with you. You two need to find a way to get along. Are you kidding me? One more word and you're grounded.
Okay, let's go, Taco. Try not to embarrass me in front of my friends.
When we arrived at the party, I immediately became the center of attention, but it wasn't a good thing. Andrew's pompous friends looked down on me and asked who I was. I'm his stepsister.
Whoa, we're not siblings. Your dad just married my mom for her money. That doesn't make us family. They're gold diggers, guys. That's all it is. Andrew, I'm so sorry you have to share your house with a loser in rags.
I hope she doesn't have lice. I wasn't about to just stand there and listen to those arrogant scumbags badmouth me, so I turned around and headed back to the mansion. Maggie, what happened? It's nothing, just I'll never fit into your world.
Honey, you don't have to. Being yourself is the only thing that matters. Miss Bell smiled, and for the first time, I realized how beautiful she was. You're not so bad.
Thank you. That's high praise. At breakfast, Miss Bell scolded her son for humiliating me at the party.
Did Maggie rat me out?
No, I figured it out myself.
Oh, whatever. Give me money for a new car. Mine broke down. You shouldn't get rid of it just because it's broken. We could repair it together. And get my hands dirty? No thanks. Come on, it'll be fun. But I don't know how to do it. I'll teach you everything.
After they disappeared into the garage, Miss Bell looked at me with a smile. Since the boys are busy today, should we do something together too? We had a spa day, and then Miss Bell suggested Elizabeth and I choose outfits from her wardrobe and dress up like we're at a fashion show. Then my restless sister passed out, and Miss Bell combed my hair. I closed my eyes and broke into a smile. So that's how my classmates felt when they spent time with their moms. It surprised me how smart my stepmother was. She knew a lot about art and all sorts of other interesting things. My grandfather owned a private museum. I fell in love with art and historical costumes when I was still a child. By the way, Maggie, your dad said you want to be a sculptor, so I got you into an art school. Really? Thank you! Oh, sorry. Don't apologize. I'm glad we finally became friends. I hugged her again, and Andrew saw us. He looked like he wanted to throw me off a cliff.
Huh?
Miss Bell and I grew closer by the day, and Andrew hated that. But to be honest, I hated it when Dad treated Andrew like his own son too. Miss Bell helped me turn one of the rooms in the mansion into a workshop. When my stepmother saw my first completed sculpture, she was so impressed she promised to arrange a solo exhibition for me. However, the next morning, I saw that someone had smashed my masterpiece. There was only one person in the mansion capable of doing something so nasty. I know you broke my sculpture!
Sweetie, you don't have any proof, so you shouldn't throw such accusations around.
What? Are you on his side?
Champion.
Call your new favorite child that. I hated that they were so close.
One day, my anger got the better of me. I crossed a line and said something I shouldn't have.
You were right. My dad married your mom for money. He doesn't really love her.
Of course, that wasn't true, but Andrew caused me a lot of pain and I wanted to return the favor. Great! I've recorded your words and my mom's gonna hear them. He was on cloud 9 when he ran away. I went into my room and sat on the windowsill. Whatever, that was for the better. They would get divorced and I would go back to living with Dad. But then I saw a cute scene in the garden and it made my heart sink. I couldn't help but smile as I realized I had grown to love my family. Dad and Miss Bell were happy together. I couldn't let Andrew ruin everything. However, when I ran out into the garden, Andrew was already there, saying he had something important they needed to hear.
Oh no, I was too late.
Listen up, everyone. I want to apologize to Maggie for turning her life into a living hell. Taco, you're a great girl.
Can I talk to you for a second? That's sweet, of course, but why didn't you show them the recording?
Well, I'm not an idiot. I know you only said that to get back at me. Besides, I'm glad I have a father now. I don't want our parents to get divorced because of our stupid feud. I was just jealous you spent so much time with Mom.
To be honest, I was also jealous of you and Dad. You two get along so well.
Seems we have something in common. Maggie, Andrew, come here. Elizabeth wants to tell us something.
Maggie, I'm sorry. I was playing and accidentally broke your sculpture. Dad must have known about it, and that's why he stood up for Andrew. I leaned closer to Elizabeth and patted her head. Thank you for telling me the truth. Aren't you mad? Of course not. Don't worry. I'll make a new sculpture, and it'll be much cooler. I looked around and realized something important. We all needed each other. We had to go through a lot, but now we've become a real family. A small universe. Hey, how about a family selfie? Say cheese!